Get to the Jets and the Giants. Sunday, 1 o'clock, MetLife Stadium. It's the Giants home game. So the Giants will have the bulk of the fans in there just because of season tickets. But it'll be interesting to see how many Jets fans get tickets and get in there. There will be a good chunk of them. You could take that to the bank. There will be a good chunk of them. This series, now, are the Jets and Giants rivals? That's a question I've been asked a couple times now in the last couple of days. And my answer is no. The Jets are not the Giants' rival. Okay, think about how you feel about Giants fans, for you guys now. Think about how you feel about the Eagles. Think about how you feel about the Redskins or the Commanders. Think about how you feel about the Cowboys. Do you really feel that way about the Jets? I know for myself, I root for the Jets. Now, I think it's more of a big brother, little brother type of thing, like the Mets and the Yankees. Like, Yankee fans do not hate the Mets. Why? Because they're not a threat. They never win anything. They're the little engine that could, right? Same goes for Giants fans and Jets fans. Giants fans, myself being one of them, does not hate the Jets. I root for the Jets. I'm not a Jets fan. I'm a Giants fan, but I root for the Jets, except for this week. The Jet fans, generally, they don't hate the Giants, but they don't root for the Giants either. They're not sitting there rooting for the Giants. They're just not. Same goes with the Mets fans. Now, I'm a Mets fan. I hate the Yankees. Okay, I root for the Yankees to lose. I like two teams. I like the Mets and anybody playing the Yankees. But Mets fans generally dislike the Yankees. Yankee fans, and they'll come back at you and they'll say, well, I don't know why you hate the Yankees. I don't hate the Mets. Yeah, I know why you don't hate the Mets, because we're not a threat to you. And you want to know why we hate the Yankees? Because if you had to sit through 4 out of 5 World Series championships, right? Mets winning 4 out of 5, and in one of those, they got to win it and clinched it on your home field. Trust me, take it to the bank, you would hate the Mets and you would hate me as much as I hate the Yankees. That's just how it is. The Mets aren't a threat. The Jets are not a threat to the Giants. The Giants have multiple Super Bowls. The Jets are perennial disasters every year. I mean, we saw, as unlikely and crazy as the Aaron Rodgers going down on the 4th play with a season-ending injury is. Were you really that shocked? Because it's the Jets, right? I mean, and here this week, the Jets are the better team. The Jets need the game more. The Jets are the better team. The Jets should win this game. Now, I think the Giants are dangerous this week because for the very fact that this is really going to be what they're playing for, their season. Giants aren't going to the playoffs. The Giants are 3-5. They're not a good team. They have no offensive line. They're in a backup quarterback situation. The coaching has taken a huge step back since last year. Why? I don't know why. But we do know the offensive line stinks. We know Thomas is out again this week. They're still toying with Daniel Jones. He still has not been ruled out. Listen, I told you how I feel about that last week. I think Tyrod Taylor should play. I think Tyrod Taylor has been a better quarterback this year than Daniel Jones has. I think the Giants are going to have a tough time protecting the quarterback. And I think Tyrod Taylor is more mobile. He might not be a better runner, or he has more pocket presence right now than Daniel Jones does. Now, again, it's not me saying I think Tyrod Taylor is the future and they should get rid of Jones or anything like that. Let Jones get healthy. He's got a neck issue. He's had this issue before. It's a serious thing. You just signed him to a long-term, big-time money contract. Now, this is a season, let's be real, you're not going anywhere. You can sit here and tell me all you want about 4 and 5, and then they're not good. The Giants are not going anywhere. You're starting to sound like the Mets fans at the trade deadline that were pissed because they were 7 out with 50 to play. It's over. The Giant look at this Giants team. They scored, 2 touchdowns a game if they're lucky. They just last week in week 7 scored their first home offensive first half touchdown in week 7. So stop, okay? Face reality. It's okay. It's okay to face reality and say you're not going anywhere. They can still win this game. The Jets are certainly not. The Jets are a better team. The Jets should win this game. Zach Wilson is going to be the wild card. How does he play? Does he revert back to the way he was against New England or against in those early games? What does he play the game he played against the Chiefs? Hyatt, the Giants rookie receiver, who's kind of emerging as their number one target, a good receiver in this league. It looks like he has a future. Hyatt going up against Sauce Gardner. Listen, Sauce Gardner is an established, one of the top corners in the entire NFL. Okay, it's going to be a long day, I think, for Hyatt. I don't see him catching many balls. You never know. There, of course, was this is the game where the Giants springboarded basically into a Super Bowl run in 2011, right? They had the 99-yard Victor Cruz down the sideline, 3rd and 10, 99 yards on the missed tackle by the Jets. And the Giants took that win over the Jets, and they springboarded that into a run that ended in a Super Bowl championship. Not going to happen this year. But it could be a coming out game for Hyatt, who has played well. He should be in. He should be getting a lot more targets. I don't think this week he's going to get a lot more targets because I don't think he's going to be open. And teams generally will not throw at Sauce Gardner. He'll take away a half of the field. He's not quite at the Revis level yet, and I don't know if he ever will be. I mean, that's gold jacket level. But Sauce Gardner right now is at a higher level at his position than Hyatt is at his position. But, you never know. And now I don't think it's going to be a big play. I think if the Giants are going to get big plays, it's going to be off the screen passes and how the screen passes are designed and the timing of the screen passes. Because if you watch football, if there's a good screen pass, if they're bringing the house against you and you set up a good screen pass against it, it's just open field ahead of you. The front four will pin their ears back because they know they can get to the quarterback. They're all going to be looking for sacks, and they'll forget about the screen, and then they get burned on the screen. And that happens all the time, and that's how the Giants are going to have to do it this Sunday because you're not going to give Tyrod Taylor enough time back there with the Giants' offensive line and the Jets' front four. There's just not going to be enough time for him to sit in the pocket and wait for plays to develop. He's going to be running for his life if he's back there more than 2.5 seconds. So you're going to have to do a lot of slants, a lot of quick slants, a lot of screen passes, a lot of play action. They got to establish the run. It's got to be plausible that you can run for the play action to work. And to do that, you're going to have Barkley have a good start and get some big runs in the first quarter, first couple drives. I think how the game starts is going to be very important. I think it's important for the Giants not to fall behind more than one score because they're not a team that scores a lot. They're not a team that scores any points, barely. So they fall behind 10 points. It might as well be 20-0. But it could get out of hand for them. Crowd's going to start to turn against them. The Jets got to keep pace. It's basically the best case scenario the Jets could have asked for coming into the bye after what happened early in the season. Right? When Rodgers went down, it was season over. It was doomsday. They kind of leveled the ship a little bit. They got it back to 500. They got the quarterback who's serviceable now. He's not a complete disaster like he was 3 weeks ago. He's serviceable. New England has dropped off. You got Miami who's lost. The Bills now are playing better. And I still think the Bills are the class of this division. I still think the Bills will win the division. I think they'll be right there. And especially those games against Miami are going to be huge. Now, the Jets have to win this game. Jets cannot lose this game to the Giants, drop under 500 again. The Jets are right now, they opened up a 3-point favorite. Right now, it's still at 3. The line is still at 3, so it really hasn't moved. We'll see where the late money comes in, that whole thing. The over-under is 35.5, so they're not really expecting a whole bunch of points being scored, and why would you? You got the Giants who don't score points. You got the Jets who have a shaky quarterback at best. Jets do have a good running game. They have Hall, who's a good runner. It's gonna be a lot of it's gonna be ugly. Whoever wins this game, it's probably gonna be ugly. The Jets on the money line are -155. The Giants +130. And like I said, the line hasn't really moved. I believe it opened at 3.5. It's now at 3. We'll see how it goes. You got Hall, Zach Wilson, Garrett Wilson are going to be the big keys to the Jets. Can Zach Wilson get the ball to Garrett Wilson? Will Brees Hall have a big game on the ground? Can the Giants get to Zach Wilson, their front four? And then Davon Thibodeau, you know what? It's about time he gets it going. He doesn't show up in these games. He dropped the pick six against the Seahawks on Monday night. He kind of gets in there and gets half sacks. He comes in and gets the second half of the sack. He doesn't disrupt plays. He doesn't wreck any games, which is what we were told was the type of player that he was. He's the type of player that can wreck a game, strip a ball, make a game-changing play, and we haven't seen any of that from him. And now you're well into his career now. It's about time. It's either going to happen or it's not. And right now, it looks like it's not going to happen. I mean, he was a top 5 pick. Go look at the other top 5 picks around the league that play the position that he does, that play the front four. They're making game-changing plays, strip sacks, big-time sacks. They're making plays on tipping the ball. They're getting in the backfield to disrupt the running game. Thibodeau doesn't do any of that. So you can sit there and tell me the tape looks good, and he looks good, and he has good form and good fit. I don't notice it. And you know what? If you're a great defensive player in this league, you notice it. It's unmistakable. A great defensive player, someone like AJ Hawk or like something like that, like they're everywhere. They're all over the field. And that's what we expected to get when we got Thibodeau, and we haven't gotten it yet. It's been a disappointment as far as I'm concerned, but it's going to be a good game. It's going to be Giants, Jets, 1 o'clock. And I love that. I love that it's 1 o'clock on Sunday because that is the NFL. 1 o'clock on Sunday is the NFL. Lately, there haven't been as many 1 o'clock games because they're spreading it thin. You got these Thursday night games. Sometimes you have 2 Monday night games. 1 o'clock on Sunday is when I want to watch my football. And that's what we got this week. It's supposed to be good weather. So the weather shouldn't be a problem. It's not going to be pretty. You're not going to have offenses going up and down the field. The Jets should win the game. If I'm betting the Jets. I'm laying the points. Even as a Giants fan, if I'm betting with my head. I'm betting the Jets. I'm laying the points. I'm laying 3 points. I think the Giants could win, though. I think the Giants could win, but I don't think they do. So Giants fans, you'd be happy that I'm not picking them, right? Because I don't get anything right when it comes to that. So that'll do it for us here. Have a good night, everybody. Enjoy the games. Jets and Giants this Sunday. World Series tonight. I'll talk to you tomorrow, everybody. See ya.